Welcome to Schmactors, a podcast series that seeks to answer the question, are Hollywood actors all spoiled, vapid, vacuous, and vain ingrates, or do some of them actually have interesting views on issues of the day? Or is it a mixed bag? James Marsters and Mark Devine are putting themselves to the test. They're leaving it up to you to decide if they're interesting or just plain nuts. Listen as they peel back their craniums, share the surprising thoughts that fill their heads, and draw back the curtain on the world's zaniest town.
Hey, Mark.
Hi, man.
Good day, son.
Look at you, Mr.
My
Tickles.
fine man. Oh,
my fine
God.
feathered friend.
My funny bone is exposed.
And Dr.
But it's
Jason
below camera.
Buffy-era.
You can't see it, so
Yes.
I'm ready.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm
my
ready
God,
too.
am I ready for this? I'm ready to laugh. I'm ready to smile. Yeah.
That's all I want to do, because it feels like the country's in a good place, but it feels like we could always use laughter.
Hopefully, that's what we can do. Just a place for fun now. Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to kick it off this week with a little follow-up that we got on the internet from Miss Jen 1985.
Is this somebody correcting us?
Yes.
Oh, I hope so.
Yes.
Okay.
Just letting you know, Mark,
Here we
that-
go.
Wrong.
Yes, you are about to be
Here we go.
spanked.
Okay.
This is in reply to episode 8, Superpowers versus Orgasms.
What?
Call
We didn't
Call
do
the-
that. Did we
That's
talk
actu-
about that? That's
that is actually an
inappropriate.
episode title of ours.
We haven't
Yes,
put that out yet, have we? That's
Mhm.
inappropriate.
That's
That's not
in
There could be
inappropriate.
kids listening. Oh my God, I got to
Organisms. Superpowers and organisms.
editing. Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Okay, keep Jason. Continue.
Call the Midwife actually uses preemies. There is no age limit in the UK for filming.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
Oh,
you thought that they used dolls, Mark, I believe.
There's a show in the UK where they use premature babies
Apparently. I think it's a Brexit thing.
in the
yeah.
show.
It's a great show, man. Call the Midwife. It's, in fact, there's a new app. I think it's Brit TV.
BritBox.
BritBox, thank you. But man, it just like, it's so calming. It's really well done. I advise everybody. I recommend that show. I did not know that though. That's kind of freaky. How's that
infection
possible?
And giving the kid
Yeah.
some kind of sickness is a real deal. Like I have friends that just had a newborn baby and they won't let me in the house. They're like, "You're filthy. Get out of here."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, I understand. Kind of
Yeah.
hate you now, but okay. Can I lick the baby? No, you
No,
can't lick the baby. Can I
no.
touch the baby? No, you can't.
No.
Can't even see the baby. Can't even be either the
Can I
baby's a
cough?
baby and
Yeah.
no.
Can I
And they're
perform?
wise.
Can I perform the brisk?
Yeah. No would be the answer to that. So
That's
like, wow.
that's freaky. I don't.
I'm going
understand
to trust that very good television show is taking all sorts of precautions for that baby when they put that thing on camera.
that.
Man.
It seems like so. Was there anything more to that, Jason? Just that.
Just so you know,
Yeah,
the people in the UK don't care about infants. Okay.
Yeah, I
Next
thought
question.
it was. I thought it was dolls. But
Just kidding, UK.
wish
Just
it
kidding.
were.
I'm sure you guys. I'm sure the show is taking enormous costs on so that they can do that.
That's all right.
Because television is always careful with the safety of people. We know this.
Can I tell you? I had a girlfriend, an old girlfriend, that she was a photographer, and she started making a lot of money photographing brand new babies, and I would see them and I'm like, well, the parents aren't smiling and they're not really showing the baby. I would look at picture after picture after picture and I'm like, why is nobody smiling? They were all, the babies all were dead. And so they wanted to still get a picture with the baby. I'm not kidding you. And so she would like go at a moment's notice. I'm sorry. I'm laughing because I'm really uncomfortable because it is sad. It's awful.
Mark, it's horrible.
It's horrible. But this is a thing.
We just said that this is going to be
real.
a happy thing.
Well, are we
going to
talk about how everything's going great in America?
But dead
Or should we
babies,
just
Mark.
but what are you going to do? I mean, this is somebody makes a living and then they want to remember that child. And I get that. I understand
Okay.
that.
Yes.
So what is the next question, Jason?
Oh, Jason, do we have any more questions?
Yes, we do. Thank bejeebus.
Gosh, yes.
James, what was your workout and eating routine during Buffy? Your physique was amazing. And if you say it's all genetics, ... Thank you for
I'll kill you if you say it's all genetics.
Yeah.
I know why.
What I would do is on the off season, I would work out like crazy. And I would remember I used to rollerblade along the ocean. They have a walkway, and I lived like 4 blocks away from the ocean in Santa Monica at the time. Really cheap rent control. It was an apartment that I had before I got the role, and I just stayed there. Anyway, I would get my rollerblades out, and I would go out on there and just go pell-mell. And it was okay when I was going against the wind. It was okay, but when the wind was at my back, going the other way, I would go too fast, and I wasn't very good. Exactly, I was not that good at it. So trying to not blast into strollers or just wipe out, and I would wipe out all the time. Like,
was your shirt
constantly, whoop, 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 all the time, you know? And the people like just like, if you saw this, it would be the best comedy in the world to see this blonde-haired guy that looks like Spike, just, whoa, 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 you know? But I always got a good sweat up doing that. And then I had some free weights that I used to get in shape. But then when you start filming, you have very little time because you're doing, we did up to 20-hour days on Buffy. So there's not a lot of time to do anything but be on the set and then go home and go sleep. So most of what you guys saw was just, I was starving myself. I was just not eating much at all.
Did you not have an appetite?
Oh, no, I had an appetite.
But you just denied yourself that.
Yeah. I was going for heroin chic, basically, because that was the look of the Sex Pistols.
That was the look.
They weren't all ripped like they had huge muscles. They just had zero body fat.
But that was the look in the 90s.
And I'm sure the Sex Pistols were not on heroin. That would be serious.
No, they were like Dean Martin. They pretended.
Of course. Yeah, they were faking it. But that was the look, and I was told that was the template of what they wanted. And so I just slowly, continuously lost weight while we were filming. And so over the years, I did get very, very thin. Probably too thin at one point, and then I had to kind of try to gain weight. And I was like, oh! I started eating ribs. Yeah. I went to Mr. Cecil's of California too much. I got a little belly. And then they put me in this tight blue shirt, and it's like Spike's got a little belly. I was like, oh, I went too far. Damn it.
Oh, hi, ribs. There's something about being in your 20s too. Were you in your 20s when you did?
No, I started when I was 34 and ended Buffy when I was 40. And then
still, you're at that age where your body's just eating everything anyway. You know?
Oh yeah, I mean, and you're doing Buffy there's a lot of stunts, you know, there's a lot of physical stuff going on, so you're burning calories for sure.
I think my diet was pretty much cigarettes and a 40 ounce.
That'll do.
That was it.
And you look great because you're young.
And Velveeta cheese.
Get away with that. Speaking of that, most of my calories at one point when we were doing Buffy was Red Bull. They didn't have any diet Red Bull yet, and they gave you energy, and whatever calories I was getting was just the sugar from Red Bulls, and I'd have like 14 a day and call it a day, go home, go to bed.
God,
yeah, horrible.
The Red Bull and vodka, that was my thing.
Yeah, didn't have the vodka. Can you imagine drunks?
Because I was drunk and.
No.
But you go to Canada and they're like, here, it's against the law for us to pour this into the vodka, so you have to do it. And I'm like, what's wrong? Is it dangerous? And they're like, we're not allowed to say, we're just Canadians.
Well, this is the thing. And then you have these energy drinks, and these kids are having heart attacks because of energy drinks. And we're like, how could anyone have known that this might be a problem? Oh, wait, Canada knew right away. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. If it makes a profit here, screw the kids.
I can't believe, like in America, we make fun of Canada for being sensible. This is really like crazy. Yeah. They're just smart. Yeah.
Do you think Canada should be the 51st state?
Nope.
All right. What's the next question?
I think that Canada should take, if maybe Canada could take Washington State and Oregon and California. You know,
what do you mean?
We'd be like, hey, that's cool. You know, we'll join you. That'd be nice.
What about Georgia? I want to come.
Sure. You know what? The more the merrier, man. Georgia's an awesome state.
We'll
Been
give
there
them
many
peaches.
times. Yeah.
But then the blood of Georgia, the poisoning of the blood in Georgia will soon seep in to Saskatchewan. And
you know what? There's a lot of that blood everywhere in California too. And so I don't think that the Canadians are going to take us. In all honesty, we could do you want us to join you? But we'll get right back to you. I don't know.
They'll be super nice.
Yeah, we're very honored. Yeah. We're going to have to take a look at it. It might take some time.
51st state.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys, thank you.
I think maybe they should
get back
build a wall. I think maybe they should build a wall and make us pay for it. So anyway.
I don't know why I find it funny. It just, everything seems so absurd right now. Can I just say it? We won't go into it, but everything just seems, it is the equivalent of Jackson coming home thinking that dolphins should come to school and that they should be allowed the rights to go to school. And I'm telling him, no, dolphins can't survive outside of the water. And then now three of his
those
friends,
are your facts.
That's your facts. And then suddenly the teachers are saying dolphins should be allowed to go. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is a thing. That's how it all feels. It's just absurd, ridiculous.
Then you go pick up Jackson and there's a dolphin.
There's a dolphin. And I'm like, I guess I was wrong.
It's a Kafka play. It's a Kafka play all of a sudden. And we're in Kafka. Yeah. Oh, let's escape. Let's escape into the next question. What is it?
Codebender Kate writes in, there are plenty of actors who have wanted to do major projects which were rejected because the higher-ups didn't think the actors knew what they were doing. What are some great projects you've heard of or wanted to do that never got made because the actors weren't taken seriously? Are there any projects you're currently fighting to bring to life that the public can help with?
Okay, first of all, actors don't know what they're doing.
No.
That's the thing, is that we actors, we know our jobs, which is focusing on the minutia of one character and making sure our hair is in place and that we know our lines. And we have very little experience with creating the huge mammoth machine that is a film production. We don't have any experience. And so when we say, I want to produce, the producers look at us like, well, I might as well just ask someone at McDonald's to come produce a movie. They would have the equal amount of ability demonstrated that you do right now. So, oh my God! But no, you're on the TV show, so they have to read your script and they have to tell you, "Oh, that's very interesting." Come on, man.
Will you explain the question to me, James?
I think if I remember the question, and maybe I don't, there are a lot of projects that actors have tried to get made, but they don't get taken seriously. And are there any projects that you have that you haven't been able to get going because you weren't taken seriously?
Being an actor, being who's the guy from The Office that just, does the Quiet Place and,
that too.
I think they try, everybody, some people want to get in the producing thing. And
well, you found this out because you were producing. You were trying to get projects off the ground, man, and it's just hard.
But I'm nobody. The bottom line is, if you can get a director with a name, that's when we got Cassavetes.
Mm-hmm. John Cassavetes,
his son.
Okay. Still.
Little John. He just
Little John Cassavetes,
John. And then he would attract the other actors. You can't push anything without a director.
Mm-hmm.
Then you look at Greta Gerwig, she directs her own stuff and kind of said, screw this, I'm going in, and she's just brilliant, but I think just like acting, I think that's just a series of, lucky things that happen.
Yeah. And I think it's forgivable for producers to start with the assumption that the actor doesn't know that job, having not done it. Yeah. And if they want to try it, they're going to have to prove that they deserve to be given all of that power and money and stuff. And it may be, fighting uphill, just like it would be if some person at McDonald's wanted to be let into that room too. They might say, well, I don't know that you have the experience to come in the room.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And so more hats off to people like Greta who have been able to do that.
Yeah.
And make it work. But she obviously had to swim upstream to do it. But I don't think that's injustice. I think that's probably smart.
Well, I think everything that I pushed trying to get made, I just really convinced myself it was Gone with the Wind. everything.
Yeah.
But in reality, none of them were very good. And so I think a lot of people come into producing thinking, I just need a script. Give me the script. Anybody got a script? And if it's halfway doable, then you're like, okay, here's the product. I've got John Cassavetes' son, to direct it. Woody Harrelson's already given a letter of intent, which means nothing, et cetera, et cetera. But really, in my
Woody
experience,
was high. He's like,
he's like, sure, just call me. That means like once you get $20 million in escrow, then he'll sign the letter of intent. But in my experience, you lose kind of sight of the art, because now you become a business person looking just to make money off of anything, and first and foremost for yourself. And so the product isn't very good. Of all the scripts that once I go back to any of them, I'm like, none of these were good.
Yeah.
Even the person that wrote Gorillas in the Mist came out with another one of the first panda to ever come to the United States. And I'm like, this is amazing. Yeah. Pandas in the Mist. And but in reality, it was just, that's old hat and it wasn't good. But we're still like, we've got her name, from the creators of Gorillas in the Mist, So
yeah. I like a producer doesn't come to and say, I want to act and I want the lead in the movie. Have you ever acted before? No, but I always thought it'd be fun. Well, let's do some readings and see what you got here. And like, whoa, hold your roll, pal. Like any job you have to learn how to do.
Yeah.
And all actors want to be directors and producers, and maybe producers want to be actors, and all actors want to be rock stars, and all rock stars want to be actors. But come on, man. They're different jobs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got to work at it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're an artist and you're trying to produce, it's just so like, ugh. And you deal with so much scum, dude. When it comes to money, like getting money, it's so slimy. It's so slimy.
My only experience in producing is with theater, where we just did a little play every 4 weeks, and our budget was $7,000, and we could get that at the box office, so it was pretty simple. Yeah. But even that small amount of production and that small a machine that I was being asked to build, I about got an ulcer after a few years of doing that. And people ask me now, do you want to produce film or television? I'm like, hell no. I don't want to have to build the whole machine before I get to play. That's a lot of frustration. And like you said, heartbreak and everything. I'm in a position where other people are going to build that machine, and I just get to show up at the very end and start playing. I'm the luckiest person in this entire process. Why would I want to do anything else?
Jason David Frank, before he passed, we were working on a project and he wrote this. He started getting into some really interesting stuff. A lot of, God, I don't know what it was. It's kind of avant-garde, very artsy kind of stuff. And he sent a script, and I said, I'd love to produce this for you. And it was a short, And it's funny, man, because I still have like messages going back and forth between us, which stinks because I miss that dude so much.
Yeah.
Even my son is like, he loves the Green Ranger, and he'll always say, thank you, Jason, and I feel like he's present and all that. And
great guy.
But he, I think maybe it was, a 10-page like short film, but, it was like $30,000 to do at the low. And, he was going to put his own money in it, and I was encouraging him. But then it just became like, that was the low. And the reality of it, you could probably double that. And is it worth
it? Easily. Yeah.
So
just on Crafty, just some greedy crew members.
All that.
Double that.
We need something to like come in and just take away all expenditures that we don't need.
Infinite money. That would do it.
Infinite money.
See what I did there?
A working wage. Episode. You went back to the last episode. I remember. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's pick it up. Let's get to the next delicious question from Jason DeFilippo. Jason, what do we got?
Amanda wants to know, how do you feel about thirst traps? For James specifically, have you seen any of the Spike thirst traps on TikTok? And if so, how do you feel about them? And I'd be happy to send you some if you need examples.
What's that? I feel so left out.
I know.
It's got FOMO.
Someone told me that they noticed that people were responding to Spike and they were so thirsty. And I was like, what is thirsty? And she's like, you don't know about thirst traps? And I'm like, no. And she's like, go on TikTok and check out just spike thirst traps. Go look at that. And I looked at it, and it's just these little short 30-second pieces where they cut all of the times when I was pretty or badass. And then that's it. There's no shots of me being mediocrely pretty, or it's just the very, very prettiest moments.
Okay.
All cut together, and then they put thumping music behind that.
Okay.
That's it. And I just looked at it, I was like, that's awesome.
So you thirst to see more?
Yes, I suppose that's the thirst. And so and I was like, was I ever that cool? Oh my God, I was gorgeous. And then I went and looked in the mirror. And I was wow. And that was just
it was the lighting. It's not
back
you.
Down to earth from that one. Like, holy crap. Yeah. So they're both thirst traps for me as a viewer are elating, exhilarating, and then really depressing when I stop watching the thirst traps and go back to the real world.
Yeah. But do you have a thirst trap? So my thirst trap, it sounds so lame, but watching puppies. I'll watch puppies, and then I want to share it with somebody, because it's so damn cute.
Yeah.
And like a golden retriever doing something, he's not supposed to do. And then I forget somebody's filming it, and I'm like, oh, you're going to get it, boy.
I think, just to be clear, that thirst traps is a sexual thirst. So I think you should be
I don't feel like that towards puppies.
Yeah, good.
I don't go that way.
That one down.
I don't go that way.
You have a thirst for joy, which is why you go toward puppies. Just want to make sure that's clear. Whew.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
yeah,
I'm sorry.
To
Thank
cut
you.
That part out.
Oh, I feel old. I get thirst traps at this age.
Yeah, just not as regularly as before. Yeah, but it happens. It's good.
That's a brilliant button.
Jason, what do we got?
Evelyn would like to know, what was your first love like? Do you use inspiration from your real love life when playing characters that are romantically involved with other characters?
What's your first? Oh, what's your first love, Mark? What was it? I got mine.
Of a girl?
Yeah.
My first love, it was of my teacher, and I couldn't stop thinking of my teacher. And I didn't know anything in sixth grade. So it was about just her giving me constant piggyback rides.
I had the same one. I forgot until you said
Real?
that. My second grade teacher, I had such a crush on my second grade teacher. And then I was so sad that we were going to graduate and I was going to lose her.
Yeah.
And she announced to the class that she was now teaching the next year, she'd be teaching the third grade.
Yeah.
And I got her for 2 years. It was the best thing in the world. I paid attention to my studies.
Did you stay in love with her for the next year?
Yeah.
My gym teacher married mine.
Bastard.
Yeah.
Son of a gun.
Mrs. Lyda Merle. She was like so pretty. And, but yeah, the piggyback rides, I don't know. I would have dreams of just.
I never got a piggyback ride from my crush. Damn it.
But I didn't know like what that was. But I would just think, man, I just want to get a piggyback ride from her. And I have no idea why.
Good. I'm glad that came later. That clarity. The first love that knew that I was into her and that we were together and everything was in high school. Because in junior high school I was a theater kid in Modesto, which it might be cool in Modesto now to be interested in theater, but back then it was not cool. It was like you are now a social pariah if you were into theater. And I didn't care. I was like, you people, I'm a theater person. And if you're not interested, F you, And
I wear Chinese fighting slippers.
Exactly. I was like, I'm an outcast. I take it on, 12-year-old James. And, But then I went to live with my dad for a year in Marin County, where being a theater kid was the coolest thing in school. So I got a girlfriend for the first time in my freshman year of high school, right? The problem was, this is Kelsey Jacobson. Oh, Kelsey.
Oh, no.
Think of you to this day.
No.
Goodness.
Kelsey Jacobson.
And she was amazing, but she was older than me. And I think she wanted something that I didn't know how to give her, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
And, she wanted all the bells and whistles, and I didn't know where any of the bells or the whistles even were. And
or went.
Yeah, and so she broke up with me.
Yeah.
She dated someone older than her.
You don't know where the bells and whistles are.
I don't know.
Kelsey, take it easy.
How old am I?
He's just 12.
Point? 12 years old. Yeah. So I couldn't be there for her in that way. And she broke up with me.
I remember the first.
I hated her for the rest of
yeah, I think the first kiss I ever had, I was
But I've forgiven her now. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, you've gotten over it. Thank you, therapy. The first kiss was Kelly Sullivan, who showed me kind of what to do.
Mm-hmm.
As a freshman, I just remember like standing there like Richie Cunningham. I'm like, "Whoa, mama!"
Yeah.
And she'd be like, "Here, you can." And like I remember she had like a soft sweater on, and she's like, "Here, you can put your hand here." And I'm like, "You sure?" And I'm like just freaking out. I'm like, "Oh man, I'm gonna get in so much trouble for this." And she's like, "Why don't we just lay down?" So she was like kind of walking me through. It was weird.
Right. Like, you can put your hands here, but not here.
Right.
But here. Yeah. Remember all
germs?
Those rules? Yeah. Now in adult life, there's kind of a time where you kind of know, okay, we've crossed the Rubicon where we can put our hands where we want to put our hands.
You've gotten there? I haven't.
A few times. A few times, yes. With regard to filming, do I use my ex-girlfriends to get in the mood for a love scene? No. I mean, when you think about it, when I think of my exes, I think of the breakup mostly.
Yeah,
so just
that's so true.
Yeah, that's not going to get me in the mood for a scene. So I when I am paired with someone, I try to find something about them that I find attractive. If I'm not attracted to them, the whole person, I try to find some pieces of their real personality that I find particularly charming, and then I focus on that. Yeah.
What if you don't like them in real life?
That has happened too. And then I've tried to fall for the character so that once they call action and that person that I find to be not attractive then transforms into their character, then I can be attracted to that.
That's good. I don't think I had a lot of kissing scenes, so not like you. But Polly Perrette, I think she was on NCIS. She was cool because she was a friend already. Yeah. She didn't like that, but now I'm even questioning if I've ever been in love, to be honest.
I know.
I
was going to the same place. I've been in need before.
Yeah,
I've been in arousal before, but the older I get,
I was kind of like, if you like me, I'm there with you. Then whatever you need. Yeah, thanks. Just want to say thank you, like Ringo.
Am I even ready to be loving? Or am I just going to be needing again?
That's okay. That's okay. You're doing okay, kid. You're doing okay.
Thanks, man.
All right.
I love you, Mark.
I love you too, kid. But not in
Jason, we both love you. What's the next question?
You know that.
Inky wants to know, what are your top 3 core values? For example, core values being things along the line of integrity, honesty, and curiosity, etc. Bonus points for how they have aligned or not aligned with being an actor over time.
Oh, that's such a great question. I want to say how grateful I am for all these. These are really well thought of questions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a great question. Man.
Now, are we going to be honest about this, or are we going to be not honest about this?
Honest.
Really?
Well, that should be the first core value right there.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Well, because looking back at my life, not like what I'm trying to do today and failing sometimes, but looking back, not aspirationally about what I would like to be like, but actually admitting what I've been like.
Oh, yeah.
My
Yeah.
core value was, what can I get from me?
Yeah, of course.
And how can I talk this person into giving it to me?
Everything. Yeah.
And what's in it for me? Am I going to get success the way I define success?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It's every
If I'm
young
honest
person in
about it.
America. That's everybody. That's your true. Yeah, of course.
I mean, I'd like to say it's honesty, but did I really value it enough to be honest?
It's manipulation. It was satisfying myself. It was very rarely caring about the other person. Yeah, it was just absolutely selfish for me.
Yeah. And I don't think we're alone. I think if we're honest about it, about the values that we really act upon, they're not the ones we want to talk about. And the ones we like to talk about, those are aspirational. Those are how we like to be that way. But I don't know, how often am I?
At the same time, I think you were probably a good person I think you had the values that your parents instilled in you. Maybe,
Oh dear.
or not.
That explains what was going on.
Well, like I thought of myself, I was empathetic. I was empathetic.
I think I was a frightened, selfish person who luckily had a high degree of professionalism at work.
Mm-hmm.
And so nobody saw the real me or got to know the real me. They just saw the professional actor at work, and they all loved that guy. Everyone thought, oh, he's a great guy, but they didn't see what was going on after work.
Yeah, and I think we're all like that as well.
Which was mostly just it would just be sitting on the couch, listening to Coldplay, crying. I'll be honest. I'm not even kidding. Not even kidding about that.
I so want to see that scene. I so want to see it
just
with
wrapped up. Oh, poor me. My pain, my pain. Oh, me and my pain. Oh,
but the core inside of James, what do you think has been consistent as far as your belief system? Because all that other stuff, of course, we're in survival mode, especially being actors. We're going to manipulate. We're going to, do all that bad stuff and human stuff. But inside, like, what are your core beliefs?
Well, yeah, okay. If you strip away all of the pain and all of the false lessons that we learn, all the lies that we believe, we get back to the original self, which we were born with. That reason that parents fall in love with their children as soon as they see them out of the womb, that original self. I know, but not the blood and all of that.
Right,
but
I got you.
Screaming baby.
Yeah.
And falling in love with that. Then it would be, I want to be connected with other people. I don't want to hurt anybody. I want everyone to be happy. Like Jackson.
Yeah.
He's still there.
Yeah, he's all id right now. There's no ego.
Yeah,
so,
there you go.
It's kind of how.
So that's probably, I guess that would be at the very core, which is no different than anyone else, would be that stuff, which then gets forgotten or laid over by a bunch of pain.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And I think we're not alone in that. That's because now at this point in our lives, it's more like, for you to call me and make sure I'm okay.
Yeah.
You reaching out, us having honest conversations. I know you're a good man, and I know that's been in there, but it's been covered up by all the shit that we've,
Maybe that's a good thing about maturing, as you get back to that original self and those original core ideals. You come full circle. Yeah.
Are you almost done?
Jackson, why are you such a good human being?
I don't know.
Well, just take a guess. Why are you such a good human being? Your lips are blue.
Okay.
Do you eat a bunch of sugar? You're honest. You won an award for integrity and trust. Yeah, Jackson won. The acronym is TIGER, That's their school mascot, and he keeps winning one for trust, T for trust. And I'm like, what? And there's, I've never seen him so happy.
Yeah.
But we're talking about what makes a good person. What makes a good person from a kid's point of view?
I made a escape room today.
Oh,
wow.
yeah. Well,
that's good.
That's not on the topic. But at any rate, he keeps winning this award from this guy at school, saying, like, you've won another award for trust. So I'm kind of like,
good job, Dad. He's capable of trust.
But like if the priest did that to me, I'd be like, wait a minute, what? You've got to be more trusting. I'll give you an
Why
award.
am I laughing?
Stacky, we're almost done. Yeah. Sorry, he's usually much more impressive than that. I don't know what.
He doesn't even know why he's a good person. That's what makes
He
him
doesn't
so
have
good.
to question it. Yeah.
Exactly. It just is.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we can be impressively wise about?
At least there's no more Star Trek questions.
I love Star Trek. Get off that. Well, I think that we ended with Jackson.
Yeah.
Who's just amazing. And he's just good because he is, and he doesn't even know how he gets there because it's just, I think it's in all of us. And I think he's still there. And I think he got that award mark because he can trust, because he learned trust at home. So good job.
Yeah.
Dad.
Thank you. And Mr. Manners. So he's like, as
That's
you say,
right.
yeah. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Jackson will have his own podcast soon.
That's
It'll
right.
be-
Wisdom from the mouth of Jackson. That's actually a good idea. Guys, thank you for listening. We will
Thank you,
be
guys.
back very, very soon, and we'll have more hilarity and self-important wisdom for you.
Tickles to all of you.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to Schmactors. Join James and Mark next time for more pointed pontification on the topics of the day. Do you have a burning question that you just can't wait to have the guys answer? Well, then head on over to schmactors.com and send it our way. If the answer won't get them canceled, we'll add it to the queue. And if you have a friend who you think would enjoy the show, use the share button in your podcast player and send it to them directly. Trust me, it'll make their day. Signing off for James and Mark, this is producer Jason. Until we meet again.